For some children, following in their parents' footsteps or taking over a family business may be expected, but for others, it's about fulfilling lifelong dreams. Tonight, in an Erie News Now exclusive report, our reporter and anchor, Elspeth Meisner, explores the dynamics of a family who all have taken on different roles in the medical field and navigated through this global pandemic.
Pharmacist to a nurse and a nurse practitioner, the Caputo family serves the Erie community in many different ways. This family dynamic is like none other. It's not often you see the Caputo family together during a work day.
Like non-COVID conversations.
They're all busy juggling jobs as pharmacists, nurses, and nurse practitioners at LECOM, UPMC Hammett, and the Cleveland Clinic. But the Caputo's history in medicine started many years ago.
I graduated from high school and always knew I wanted to do something to help people, so I went to nursing school.
Growing up, parents Jim and Linda said their two daughters, Jamie and Lindsay, would often play pharmacist or doctor after hearing about their parents' days at work.
We wrote prescriptions and kept medical records and manila folders of the Barbies and with paper prescription pads that I had for scrap pads, and both of them would write the prescription orders, keep track of them.
Well, we only had one lab coat, so Lindsay had to wear one of his white shirts.
Linda said it was no surprise when Jamie said she wanted to follow in her dad's footsteps and go to pharmacy school.
I felt like Jamie always was going to be a pharmacist. She would wear his lab coats. They would play Pharmacy for Dollars, where he would ask questions and they would try to answer them.
Jamie Babiak, now director of operations at LECOM's Institute for Successful Aging, said seeing her dad take classes while she was growing up encouraged her to follow in his footsteps.
Part of it is probably the candy lipstick that we got to eat whenever he took us to the pharmacy, and the rest of it is healthcare related, but definitely was a good experience, and felt like we learned a lot from that, and definitely is kind of from the age of 5 or 6 when I decided I wanted to be a pharmacist.
She was my technician, then my intern, and then now, of course, now I work for her, so I hope I was really nice to her, because sometimes she's really mean. But no.
He texts me and says, my boss is keeping me late today.
Yeah.
If you want to be home for dinner, call your daughter.
While both parents knew that Jamie had thought about a medical field career for a long time, when her sister Lindsay announced she wanted to pursue a career in medicine, they were surprised but proud.
When she came to me and wanted to be a nurse, my first statement was, go farther than I did. I've been at the bedside for 40 years. Go for your bachelor's, your master's, even a nurse practitioner.
Lindsay Heibach, a nurse practitioner at the Cleveland Clinic, says being around a family in medicine and wanting to help others were the two reasons she chose to pursue this field.
Around the culture of my whole family, growing up around it, and my mom was a nurse, and she seemed very happy in what she did most of the time at least. So nursing was what I chose. I think that I wanted to help people in some way.
While Jamie was in pharmacy school, she met her now husband and COO of Mill Creek Community Hospital, Marcus Babiak. According to Babiak, although meeting the family may be intimidating to some, he felt right at home with a family rooted in medicine.
It gives us all a common bond from the very beginning, and I think that's what has allowed our family to grow, was just that initial common bond and that foundation that we started upon, and that's just let everything grow.
Now years later, Jim, Jamie, and Marcus all work in different areas in LECOM, but still get to work alongside one another. Both Jamie and Lindsay have children of their own who they say might carry on the family tradition.
Our oldest says she wants to be a pharmacist because she wants to work with all of us. But I hope that I don't work too much longer, and I know you don't want to work by the time she's working. She's only 7, but I do think, they see that and they understand and they ask questions. Although it can be helpful to have family members who understand the grind of the work in the medical field, imagine what it's like to navigate a global pandemic. Coming up in Part 2, we examine the biggest things the Caputo family learned while battling COVID-19 on the front lines. Elspeth Meisner, Erie News Now.